Welcome to We Talk English. My name is Kashish. Today we're going to explore an essential topic for language learners: why you must listen actively in your target language. Let's dive in. The first way to stop translating in your head is to identify the objects around you in your target language. If you're studying English, take a moment to observe your environment. Look at the items around you, your desk, a book, or even your favorite mug. Rather than thinking of their names in your native language, try to connect with them directly in English. For instance, when you see a computer, don't translate it, recognize it as computer. This method not only builds vocabulary, but also helps you think in English more naturally. By associating words with objects and situations in your daily life, you reinforce your memory and make language learning more intuitive. Tip number 2 is to repeat the phrases you hear native speakers use. Whether you're watching this channel, a movie, or a TV show, pay close attention to how native speakers form their sentences. When you hear an interesting phrase or a unique combination of words, don't just absorb the information. Repeat it out loud. This practice mimics the way children learn their first language. Speaking out loud helps train your mouth and ears to the sounds of the language, making it easier to reproduce them later. If you're in a public space and find it challenging to practice, find a comfortable place where you can speak freely. The more you practice saying these phrases, the more confident you'll become in using them in conversation. Next, let's talk about making a situation where you can't escape into your native language. Immersion is a powerful tool for language learning. If you can create an environment where you have no choice but to use the language you're studying, it can dramatically improve your skills. This could mean setting specific times during the day to only speak or think in English. Consider joining language exchange groups or engaging with native speakers online. These interactions push you to express yourself in English, helping you overcome the fear of making mistakes. Initially, it might feel daunting, but as you continue, you'll find it easier to communicate. Tip number 4 is to watch TV shows and movies in your target language without relying on subtitles. While subtitles can be helpful for understanding dialogue, they can also distract you from truly listening. When you watch something in your target language, focus on the character's body language, tone, and context. This multisensory approach enhances your comprehension skills. If you feel comfortable, try watching a movie you've seen before in your native language and then watch it again in English, without subtitles. This method challenges your listening skills and helps you pick up new vocabulary naturally. You'll be surprised how much you can understand just from visual and contextual clues. Tip number 5 is to avoid bringing a dictionary to your lesson. While dictionaries are useful tools, pulling one out in the middle of a conversation can interrupt the flow and hinder your learning. Instead of searching for the perfect word, practice describing what you're trying to express. This not only keeps the conversation going, but also helps you refine your descriptive skills. Think of it as a game where you have to find alternative ways to express your thoughts. This practice can significantly expand your vocabulary as you learn to articulate ideas with the words you already know. Number 6 is to train responses to common questions. In any language, certain questions come up frequently. For instance, how are you? Or what do you do for fun? It's helpful to have a few default responses ready so you can reply quickly and confidently. By preparing answers for these common questions, you eliminate hesitation and make your conversations smoother. Practice saying these responses until they feel natural. This will save you time during conversations and help you engage more fluidly with others, making interactions feel less intimidating. The next tip is to study with materials that don't provide a translation. This means using textbooks or resources that present the target language without your native language alongside it. This forces you to think in English and helps you develop a deeper understanding of the language. Look for resources that provide explanations and examples solely in English. By immersing yourself in the language, you train your brain to process information without relying on translation, leading to faster language acquisition. When learning new vocabulary, it's essential to study phrases in addition to single words. Context is crucial in understanding how words function. For example, the word crazy can have multiple meanings based on the phrase it's used in. By learning how words fit into phrases, you grasp their nuances and can use them appropriately in conversations. This method also aids in mastering idiomatic expressions, which are often tricky for learners, but are used frequently by native speakers. Another effective strategy is to do your daily activities in English whenever possible. Whether it's making a shopping list, planning your day, or talking to yourself while cooking, try to narrate your actions in English. This practice not only reinforces vocabulary, but also helps you recognize areas where you might need to expand your knowledge. If you encounter a word or concept you don't know, take a moment to look it up. This will help you fill in the gaps in your language skills and encourage active learning throughout your day. Finally, tip number 10 is to use a learner's dictionary for new words. These dictionaries are tailored for language learners, providing simple definitions and examples in the target language. Instead of looking up words in your native language, try finding their meanings in English. This practice enhances your understanding and keeps you engaged with the language you're learning. Using a learner's dictionary helps you think directly in the language, reinforcing your learning and making new vocabulary more memorable. So, those are 10 tips to help you stop translating in your head and start thinking in English. I know it's a challenging journey, but with patience and consistent practice, you'll see significant improvements. If you have tried any of these strategies or have additional tips to share, please let us know in the comments below.